He feels no pain, but every fight leaves him broken.
Basically makes it so I can't feel pain.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
When ruthless thugs take the woman he loves, Nate turns his rare disorder into a weapon. But before all the blood and chaos, Nate's day started like any other day with a blended breakfast before heading to work at the bank. He was bored during a planning meeting until a young intern named Sherry walked in. Nate was a good man. He had promised Earl a deferment on his loan so the man wouldn't lose his house.
Wait, now I can't promise that it'll save the store, but that should keep you in your house.
I appreciate that.
Nate always drank iced coffee, but when Sherry distracted him, he accidentally spilled boiling water on his hand and didn't even notice.
Hey, Nate.
Hey.
Hi. Sorry.
Hey, what's up?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
What?
Sherry panicked. The burn looked serious, but Nate calmly assured her it was nothing.
No, you're not fired. You're definitely not fired.
To make up for it, Sherry invited her boss to lunch. At first, Nate refused,
No, actually, sorry, I brought mine today, so I'm okay.
but then decided it might be his chance to change his personal life. He agreed to go with her to a cafe, though he refused to try the cherry pie.
Sherry, I'm
It's so
fine.
good.
I
Just
can't.
do it.
I can't.
It was then Nate admitted his secret.
I have a genetic disorder.
Oh.
He couldn't feel pain from heat or cold. To avoid biting off his tongue, he didn't eat solid food.
Basically makes it so I can't feel pain.
If he stepped on a nail, he wouldn't even know until his shoe filled with blood.
Couldn't feel that at all.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
This wasn't new. It had happened before. Still, despite his fear, Nate agreed to try a bite of pie from Sherry's hand.
This is pie. Pie's good.
Congratulations.
Whoa!
Nate had only one real friend, Roscoe.
You know?
You've been talking about this girl for months. You're basically in love with her. I mean, if I were you, I'd be all over that shit.
Yeah.
Whom he knew from online gaming.
What do you have to lose?
Roscoe encouraged him to go on a proper date with Sherry.
Hi.
Hey, you came. You're here.
Yeah, no.
Their chat was interrupted by Nate's old classmate, who called him Novocaine.
Holy shit! It is you!
Back then, kids constantly beat him up because he couldn't feel pain. Suddenly, Nate's watch alarm went off. It buzzed every 3 hours to remind him to use the bathroom.
I gotta set one of these every 3 hours or else my bladder might explode.
Otherwise, his bladder could burst. When Nate returned, Sherry was already talking with his classmate.
You really are. He's hilarious.
She suggested they all have a drink and let go of old grudges. Nate downed a shot without flinching, while his classmate choked.
What the fuck was that? Oh!
The drink was spiked with chili peppers.
5-alarm ghost pepper sauce.
Sherry brushed it off and later wanted to go home with Novocaine. At her place, Sherry took off Nate's shirt and discovered his body was covered in tattoos.
These are amazing. Where did you get them done?
Curious, she asked if he could still enjoy himself. Nate said yes, and Sherry gave him pleasure. The next day, Nate was in a great mood.
Amazing.
He kept watching Sherry, planning to ask her on another date. But suddenly, a gang of men dressed as Santa Clauses stormed the bank.
Gentlemen, love the outfits.
They forced everyone to the ground and demanded the manager open the vault.
How can I help you?
We're here to make a withdrawal.
Someone hit the alarm button. The robbers had only 3 minutes before the police arrived. The leader beat the manager so badly that his fake beard fell off.
Sorry, buddy. You saw my face.
Turning to Nate, he began beating him too, but Nate didn't react at all.
Say the fucking combination! What the fuck is wrong with you?
This made Sherry notice him, which drew the gang's attention to her. The leader threatened to kill her unless Nate gave up the vault code.
Okay! I'm telling you! Stop it! I'm telling you!
Terrified, Nate finally revealed it. He was knocked unconscious while the robbers stuffed cash into bags.
Come to me! Cops are here early!
Just then, the police arrived and the Santas dragged Sherry away as their hostage.
Guns on the ground! Okay.
The cops agreed to drop their guns and the thugs immediately shot them.
Go.
Reinforcements arrived, but the gang continued to gun down officers. Nate woke up and realized the robbers had taken the woman he loved. He knew he had to act. He helped a wounded officer, grabbed his gun, and stole a police car.
God, what am I doing?
The robbers split into two cars when they noticed they were being tailed.
Oh, fuck!
Nate cornered one of them in a dead end.
What the fuck?
When Ben saw a cop with a pistol pointed at him, he easily knocked the gun away, sending the barrel flying into a restaurant kitchen. The persistent criminal wouldn't leave Nate alone. Ben tried to shoot him, but Nate deflected the weapon with a frying pan,
Okay.
burning himself badly in the process.
Tell me where she is.
Eat shit.
Ben began beating the helpless banker. Nate fought back using whatever was at hand. Covered in flour, Ben grew angrier and grabbed a hatchet. Until Nate reacted faster. He plunged his hand into boiling oil to grab a gun and shot the robber dead.
Hey, man, you okay?
His hand was severely scalded, but he survived. The other accomplices messaged Ben that they had finished the job. Nate snapped a photo of Ben's tattoo and fled the scene in his car. He asked his online friend to track down the tattoo parlor where the ink had been done.
Fine, Jesus, I'll get you the address, but that's it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Meanwhile, police suspected Nate might have been an accomplice.
The assistant manager. He stole a cruiser and followed the gunman. Witnesses say it's the same guy who opened the vault.
After all, he'd opened the vault and chased the robbers. Nate turned to Earl for help.
You sure you don't want me to just call you an ambulance?
No, I told you there's no time.
Earl pulled the bullet from Nate's hand with pliers and sealed the wound with superglue.
Yeah, here we go, see?
Nate nearly lost consciousness after the makeshift surgery and had to inject himself with epinephrine to stay awake.
Thank you so much. Sorry, this was a lot.
You go get that girl, Nate.
In gratitude, he gave his grandfather 2 stacks of cash so the loan could finally be paid off.
Daddy always said you were a good kid.
Roscoe located the tattoo parlor and sent Nate the address. The other 2 bandits gathered at their hideout.
There's nothing on the scanner about your brother. That means he probably lost the tail.
Andre worried because his brother Ben hadn't returned and wasn't answering his calls. A person seated at the table, supposedly a hostage, turned out to be one of the robbers in disguise.
You love cola
Stop
gummies.
it, Simon. Stop.
Everything had spiraled out of control. Simon had promised Sherry no one would get hurt, but he started shooting wildly instead.
You did not have to kill Nigel.
Nigel? Who is Nigel?
The bank manager.
Sherry's original plan, to seduce Nate and get the vault code, had been interrupted. She didn't have time to carry it out.
But if you were able to get that vault code out of Loverboy, everyone would be alive right now, including Nigel.
Oh my god.
Nate went to the tattoo parlor. The artist was a big, rough guy with extremist tattoos and a nasty attitude.
What's happening with your hand?
Oh.
Psoriasis. It started this morning. Nate lied. He showed Zen a photo of Ben's tattoo and asked him to replicate it so he could identify the shop.
You're gonna love this. Just say his last name.
The artist recognized the dead robber from the photo. When Nate tried to press for the man's last name, Zen got defensive and grabbed a knife.
I'm not gonna hurt you, okay? Just put down the knife.
Nate had already drawn a gun on him, but suddenly Zen's assistant knocked the barrel aside.
Oh, no!
In the scuffle, Zen accidentally knocked a woman's teeth out, but the ambush failed and things stayed chaotic. Xena got furious and smashed the mirror against his opponent, sending shards flying everywhere. Nate seized the moment and began hammering the glass into his fists.
Fuck, what are you doing?
Then, the frostbitten clerk slashed Zena's face, even blinding him. To finally make the big guy talk, Nate grabbed a tattoo machine and started crossing out the swastika on his neck.
Oh, fuck, it's Clark!
Okay,
It's Clark!
okay.
Clark, Ben Clark.
From him, Nate learned where Ben lived. To make sure he wouldn't forget the address, he tattooed it onto his own arm. Meanwhile, Andre decided to stop by his brother's house to check on him.
You really think he's gonna go back there? Use your brain, man.
He's my brother!
But Nate got there first. Ben was paranoid and had filled his home with all sorts of traps. When Nate tripped a wire, he felt sudden pressure in his back. A spiked metal ball had slammed into him. Any other intruder would have been screaming in pain, but not Nate. Another surprise waited in the kitchen.
Come on, really?
An arrow shot straight into his leg, fired from a crossbow hidden under the sink. Nate kept moving through the house with the arrow still lodged in his leg. He discovered Ben's uniform and learned where he worked. Unfortunately, Nate couldn't leave the house.
And now I'm gonna make you.
Oh my god!
He fell into another trap and ended up hanging by a rope above the floor. He had no choice but to call his friend Roscoe again for help.
This better be you calling from a hospital or a jail.
No, not quite. I'm at,
Roscoe, irritated, agreed and said he'd arrive on his Harley in about 15 minutes.
Okay, look, it says 15 minutes, but I'll take the Harley and be there in 10, all right?
Yes.
At that exact moment, Andre walked into the house.
Hi.
Who the hell are you?
Nate tried to lie, claiming he was just a thief. But Andre noticed the tattooed address on his arm.
Do you have his address on your fucking hand?
Then Simon called.
Ben's dead. Skinny guy in a suit.
He had overheard on the police radio that Ben had been killed by some skinny guy in a suit.
Whoa, hey, hold on. Hey, let's just talk about this.
Andre instantly realized his brother's killer was hanging right in front of him.
There's no need to draw this out.
He decided to make Nate suffer for it, long and painfully.
You know, when I used to do this shit back in Special Forces, it was always to try and get some information.
He sat Nate down in a chair and began twisting the arrow lodged in his leg.
Oh, no, stop it.
Roscoe would arrive in just a couple of minutes. They only needed to stall. Andre grabbed a pair of pliers and ripped out a few of Nate's fingernails.
Went to market.
But the sadist wasn't done yet. He moved on to his favorite torture, cutting out eyeballs.
Your brother told me something.
For the first time, Nate felt real fear. Luckily, Roscoe burst in and knocked Andre out cold.
Please don't.
He joked that Andre looked like Jason Momoa, though in reality, he was more like a 5-foot-tall Humpty Dumpty.
That you were 6'5" and that you looked like Jason Momoa?
I said I kinda look like Jason Momoa.
Right.
The two friends were about to leave, but Andre regained consciousness and lunged at Nate. Roscoe tossed him a knife, but it ended up piercing Nate's palm.
Oh, shit, sorry!
Quickly correcting himself, Roscoe sprayed the thug with bear spray. Suddenly, another trap went off. A sledgehammer slammed into Roscoe's helmet, and falling bricks crashed down on Andre. The scumbag, enraged, wrapped his hands around Nate's throat and began choking him. That's when Nate remembered the arrow still stuck in his leg. He ripped it out and drove it through Andre's head.
Hell of a way to go.
Minutes later, the police arrived at the house and ordered Nate to come out with his hands up.
Look, come on, don't make this harder than it has to be, okay?
Instead, he jumped on Roscoe's Harley and took off. However, he soon stopped.
Shit.
Under the helmet was a smug Harja Roscoe, but with handcuffs on, it wasn't so funny anymore. Chubby promised to tell the cops where they could find Nate. Sherry rebelled and refused to run away with Simon because he was a killer and she wasn't.
We've killed people before.
No, you've killed people before, Simon. You!
Nate burst into the garage and pointed a gun at the robber.
Oh my fucking God.
Simon laughed and told the banker that Sherry was his adopted sister.
She's my fucking sister.
The girl tried to convince Nate that everything they had was real.
Everything that happened between us, I meant it, okay? It was real,
Oh, what
I
a
swear.
load of horseshit.
That she truly had feelings for him, but Nate's body was at its limit. He lost focus, and Simon used the chance to close the distance, knocking him out with a couple of blows. The scumbag was about to crush Nate's head with a car, but at the last moment, Sherry ran into her brother to stop him.
What the hell are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you just gonna crush his head?
Oh, he started it.
Simon put a gun to his sister's head. A shot rang out, but it was Simon himself who was hit. The cops had arrived just in time. Luckily, Nate had already told the police his story.
You're lucky that you got such a good friend. A little too chatty for me, though.
Otherwise, he might not have made it out alive. Nate was strapped to a stretcher and loaded into an ambulance. But everyone seemed to forget about Simon.
Wouldn't that be amazing if we...
He came to, shot a police officer, and wounded another. Sherry managed to escape. The scumbag then shot the paramedic and hijacked the ambulance. Sherry helped the injured policewoman into a car and drove after Simon. She knew her brother was heading to the port.
Go! We're gonna lose him.
No, don't worry.
Where? Who's going? Are we going to high-speed chase right now?
Meanwhile, Nate was fighting to free himself from the handcuffs. He managed to reach a fire extinguisher, but to use it, he first had to break his own finger. He did it. Now free, Nate grabbed a defibrillator. He pressed an electrode to himself, then grabbed Simon's face with his hand, shocking him. Simon lost control and the ambulance flipped over. But he wasn't finished. He turned on Nate and began strangling him with a scalpel. Just as the policewoman and Sherry arrived at the port, the policewoman had lost a lot of blood. She handed her service weapon.
Don't miss.
Simon emerged victorious from the fight with Nate, breaking his arm so badly that bone was sticking out. But before he could finish him off, Sherry shot her brother. Unfortunately, she came too close, and Simon managed to disarm her. He began beating Sherry. Crawling on the pavement, Nate spotted a syringe filled with adrenaline and drove the jagged bone in his arm into Simon's head, finally killing him. Then he collapsed.
Sorry. Let me hang right here. I'm not going anywhere, I promise.
The clerk woke up in the hospital. He had suffered heart failure, a brain hemorrhage, and multiple broken bones.
But you're okay now. It's a Christmas miracle.
Doctors kept him in a coma for 3 weeks. Nate had committed many crimes, but because he saved a police officer's life...
Also, you're a white guy who works for a bank, so the judge took it easy on you. 6 months house arrest.
Sherry, however, received a real prison sentence.
No.
He's intense.
Yeah.
He's really intense.
Yeah, they're strict here. It's jail.
Inmate 241, time's up.
Still, Nate promised to wait for her, no matter how long it took.
See you soon, Novocaine.
And now, at least, he eats pies without fear. And that's the insane story of Nate, the man who couldn't feel pain, but turned his own broken body into a weapon. If you enjoyed this wild recap, make sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and stick around for more brutal stories just like this.